Hey guys, welcome. So today I am painting Beetlejuice. As you can see, I've got the original painting over here, which is a 16 by 20, and but I'm going to recreate it on a 11 by 14 canvas. So it shouldn't take quite as long. Um, so we should get through this pretty fairly quickly. For those of you who are, tuning in now and watching this video for the first time, and you already have a kit for this particular project, meaning you've got the brushes and the paints and the canvases and everything, welcome. You know, have a great time with this. You guys can rewind and go forward, go back, whatever you want. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm pretty sure you could do the same thing on Facebook. I'm gonna upload this on the Facebook page as well, my art page. But yeah, so I mean, everyone else, if you're just kind of hanging out and watching, you've got nothing else to do, welcome. Just really quick, I do uh, sell kits like this. So if there's something that you see that you like and you like to do at home, or maybe you like to get a group of friends together and do something private, and you like a at-home kit, hey, just let me know. I'll put my information on the description, and just contact me and let me know what you're thinking, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into this as if it were just a plain old demonstration. So I've got my canvas set up. I'm gonna go ahead and block out all of the black area, as you see here. The stripes, the house, all of that. So that's all going to be blocked out first. I think the darkness around his eye, little things like that. And while I'm letting the black dry, I'm going to hit the hair with the greens and yellows, maybe some hues of blue. I like to mix my colors and just have fun with it. You know, just try new things. So, and there isn't really a lot of colors that are going into this. There's really just the yellow, the green, the black, a little bit of blue, and some white, for the very end. And then I'm probably going to add a little bit of red too. So, and by the way, this is Artist Loft acrylics that I'm using tonight. So I've used this a lot in my in-person paint nights, and I really like it. I mean, I use a lot. I use basics, I use all kinds of different paints, but this is my go-to when I want the large tubes for those bigger classes. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just dive right into this. I'm gonna add some music for some background noise. You guys, feel free to have a drink or maybe a snack handy. Just have it on the side somewhere. I'm drinking some, flavored water over here. Sometimes I like to have a little glass of wine or something on the side, but today, you know what, I'm going to stay hydrated and just drink water, as it is still the middle of the summer, so it gets kind of hot in this room. So without further ado, let's jump on this one. I'm going to go ahead and go to my little playlist, and okay, so here we go. The music really helps, relaxes me, I don't like too much silence. I like a little something playing in the background. So I'm gonna take a large flathead brush. It's got a nice edging to it, so I can do things like, the hair, get in those little crevices and stuff. I can use the edging for the lines of the stripes, and of course I have a smaller version as well, just like that. It's like little mini me, same thing but much smaller. And then I have my little fine tip. Okay, I'm only going to use these 3 brushes. If you have more brushes at home, use what what you're comfortable with. So so let's do this. Let's get the black knocked out. I'm going to hydrate my brush a little bit in the water. Have a towel or a paper towel rag handy, and then just kind of wipe off that excess water. Okay, I've got little cups of color, so I've got my black here. And I'm just going to hit the ground running. I'm going to go ahead and start with this large section first. I've got extra paint to my left over here in case I run out of color. For you folks that have the kits at home for this particular paint project, you should have a pretty good amount of paint, okay? But you know what? Stop at the store, go to Michael's, whatever, pick up some extras if you're not sure you have enough, but you should. So I'm going to just go ahead and start from the bottom. I like to take long swipes and strokes, get it all filled in. So see, I'm using the edge of the brush. And I'm just working in those little crevices between the hair. See that? And then later when we go with when we go in with the green and blues and yellows, we'll paint right into the black to extend those hair follicles and hair strands, you know, to make it look a little more natural. So just remember, we're not going for realism here. He's kind of almost of a comic style look, kind of cartoony in a sense. So we're not looking for a realistic looking painting, okay? That's not what this is at all. Up to the chin. Okay, so you kind of got the gist of this. It's pretty simple. Make sure you cover all of that area. Sometimes I do circles, and then I just go back and forth. Now I tend to go pretty fast. Some of you are brand new to painting, and you haven't quite figured out your style or your technique yet. So hey, take your time. Like I said, this is a pre-recorded video. You can go back, pause, rewind, watch over a section again, whatever you want. This is not live, so you're in no rush at all. I may get this done in less than an hour and a half, but you may take longer, a little bit longer. I mean, who knows? But you know, I've had some pretty fast painters come to my paint nights, and they left me pretty floored. I'm like, okay, you've done this before, guys. Awesome. So and when that happens, when I have those people who really look like they know what they're doing and they're quicker, I volunteer them to help their neighbors. So it really does help to have people who have done this before. So see here, this is going to be part of that hill that the house is sitting on, okay? So adjust my volume here. That's what this line is right here, part of that hill. Eventually I'm going to move to the smaller flathead as I get to the smaller areas, but for now I'm continuing on with the larger brush. Now I'm actually going to switch to the smaller brush as I get in here, so I can fit in those little areas. So really spread that around, guys. Try to get that covered really nicely, okay? Hopefully you don't see too much of a glare because I do have this light over here. And in fact, let me check and see how this looks. Looks pretty good, I think. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. All right. All right, let's continue on. creep up here. I'm going to use the edging of this brush and follow along this line right here, this squiggly line. This is going to be black, this is going to be black, and this is going to be black. I'm going to mark those so I know and I don't get confused, because I've already done, you know, this is probably my third video already, because I messed up once. And then the second one I stopped recording early because apparently I didn't have enough storage. So I had to tweak and fix a few things to do this video. But I learned a few things. So I'm going to mark where it's going to be black. This area is going to be black, and this area is going to be black. And there's actually some black up here. Black stripe, black stripe, black stripe, black stripe, okay? So I don't confuse myself. Because there's a system here. The house is black, with the exception of the windows and the door. And to make it pop, I have to use this black to kind of create this outline around the dark part of the house. And then we got the white, and then this black section here that outlines this section of the house. So, you know, if you could see right there, that's kind of what I'm talking about. All right, one more little swirl in here just to make sure I got all the areas covered. And I actually have a fan blowing behind me, so the air is going to help dry this out pretty quickly. Because later, towards the end, we're going to create the tombstones, a little fence right here that separates the house from the graveyard. Okay, so I'm going to stop with this large brush, and I'm going to switch to the smaller version. So I keep the water handy. And for those of you who have the kits at home, you should have a solo cup. I included a disposable apron, a paper plate, your brushes, your paints, a red solo cup, your canvas, and a reference photo of the original piece, okay? You should have all of those things in your kit. Guys, those of you with the kits, if you don't complete it tonight or today, whenever you're doing this, be sure to cover up your paints with the lids, okay, so they don't dry out. Because if they do, then you'll have to go out and buy some more acrylics. But try to get this done, you know, this evening, you know. Put aside, you know, a few hours and have fun with it. All right, so I'm done with this. Now I'm gonna switch to this. Take a drink of water here. Okay, so I'm gonna hydrate this brush a little bit as well. Right here. Make it wet. Take the rag. Take some of the excess water off. And then dip into your black. So same thing. I'm gonna go from the top and work my way down. So I got this one stripe up here. If you're comfortable with a smaller brush, like something like this, then go for it. If you're not quite sure you can maneuver a brush like this, switch to something that's a little bit more pointier or round. I mean, whatever is more comfortable for you guys. Let me see here. Oh, you know what? See, I already messed up. This is supposed to be black, right? But I painted this black. Okay, so here's a learning situation. Now I'm gonna troubleshoot. Because technically this area should be black. So what I'm gonna do is I'm still gonna create a black stripe. Hey, it happens. You know what? It happens. Not a big deal. We'll make this stripe a little thinner. They don't have to be the same. It's totally fine. Don't freak out. I'm going to create another little area that looks like a stripe. Just, you know, stripes are no big. Just as long as this makes sense. Over here, don't worry about it. But it happens. This happened to me already before. I totally goofed and painted the wrong stripe black. It's okay. Take this all the way down like that. In fact, you know what I'm probably going to do? I'm going to add a couple more extra stripes to even the size of all the stripes. So see how this is kind of thin? I'm going to bring this over. We'll fix this. Okay, so we got the white or black, white, black, white, black, white, black. Okay, so that's all we need. So pretty much got this knocked out. Now I'm gonna move on to this stripe. Yeah, see, I mess up like this a lot. I confuse myself. I even marked it so I wouldn't get confused, and I still messed up. So it is what it is. You know what? You just gotta learn to troubleshoot it, fix it. I've had to do this my whole life as an artist. You know, you plan stuff out and you still mess it up. So hey, that's life. But it's still coming out pretty decent. Okay, so see how I outlined this? I'm going to try to keep the black within these lines and separate it, have a separation between the house and the stripe, okay? Which I'll probably end up going to this one to do that when I get to the house. For now, let's finish this. Use that edge of your brush. Okay, follow the line. See, I use that edge of the brush. Use the wider section of the brush to fill in this. I like to flip it around like that as I go. I kind of go like this and twist it. I go to the edge. I go to the flap section of it. It's all about just maneuvering your brush. Okay, so you kind of already see what's going on here. See how now there's a section between the house and the stripe? That's what we want. So now let's finish filling this in. Let's do this stripe and then we'll do the house. All of the tombstones and things like that we'll do at the very end. Okay, so see, I still got some stripes going on here. They're not bad. Actually, this looks really good. This actually looks decent. I could probably widen this stripe a little bit and then maybe bring this one closer. I mean, it looks fine the way it is, honestly. I don't really need to do too much to it. Well, you know, that's just my thinking. Like, oh, I got to even it out, but no, not really. I don't need to do that. And you could paint, you know, around the side if you want, or that's something you could do towards the end of your paint session. But for now, we'll just focus on the front. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the stripes, I think. Okay, so we got all this covered up. You go in here, clean this. Get in these little crevices here of the hair. And use that edge of the brush. That's what I'm using right here. And hopefully you can hear me with the music playing in the background. So, but I already got quite a bit done. The blocking with all the black and everything. So. And I tend to talk a lot with my hands, so excuse me for that. I do this a lot. But and that's about it as far as this blocking out part. And then I'll come back later with the hair. I'm gonna do the house and then around his eye here. And then over here there's a little bit of that shadow too. So okay, I think we're pretty good. Let me get in here. There's a little doorway right here. Again, this is small enough to get in here. You can use the edging and create that door. See the door? Try to get as much done with this small flat brush as you can, and then move on with the smaller pointed brush. Okay, so I think I'm gonna switch over to the smaller pointed brush. So let me go ahead and rinse this out. Key point here, guys, make sure you clean your brush in between changes of color, okay? Try to get as much of that paint off as you can. Otherwise it just kind of gucks on there and it's tougher to clean later. And don't leave it sitting in your cup. Put it aside somewhere. Wipe it off on your rag. Have it ready for the next one if you need it. The next application of color. Now, I'm going to switch to this one. Okay, let's wet it a little bit. Okay, let's go to some black. Let's get all of these little areas here. This will take some time. That's okay. And as I'm sitting here painting this section of the house, I mean, the rest of the black that I painted already is already drying up, which is awesome. This paint dries up pretty fast. You could tell already. Okay, so you see the windows. There's 3 windows down here. This part out of the way here. We got another window right here. All right. And then there's your house. Okay. And it's just a silhouette of the house, just a shadow of the house, but it really pops out with these stripes. And sharpen this just a little bit. I'm going to bring the line a little closer to the house, just a little right there. Just like that. Okay, so I'm going to take a few beats, let you do your thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and carry on with, I think, the eye. As you're working on this, I'm going to go ahead and come over here. And I think I'm going to stick with this. Do the underlining of his eye. Now it's really going to pop because we're shadowy in that eye. You'll really see the difference once it's all painted in. It's incredible how much of a difference when you start filling all these areas in. Okay. Already you can see what a difference it's making. So I'm filling this area in, and then I'm going to move on to the next portion. So there's the shadow of his eye. So already it's tying together. It's looking pretty good. As you can see, there's some darkness underneath his chin, up his jawline. I think I might do some dark areas along his along his hairline. So let's do that. Let's bring that face out. I like to do this little thing with my brush. I like to fade in from the dark to the light, like this. You can see that. I'll do it upwards a little bit. See how there's a little bit of a fade? Remember, you have a paper plate. If you need to use this to maybe take some of the excess paint off or mix your colors, keep that close by. I'm going to go ahead and do some dark blotches in here on his hairline. Really lightly. It's almost like a grayish black kind of a tone. Okay, just like that. Because we're going to come back with like a dark mossy green, a little bit of a lime green. Some of it will look bright, some of it will look darker. Okay. Let's take some of that excess black off. Maybe do some light gray right here along the darkness of his eye. Huge difference. See how much is already coming together? It's not bad. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Let me finish this part really quick. There's still some dark shade over here with his right eye. Let's get this knocked out. Okay. All right. So hopefully you're close to this. If not, you know what? Like I said, come back to it later. No big deal. You can rewind. If you didn't quite get something, go back. I'm going to step up or step back, get up and step back, and have a look and see how and what we got. Pretty good so far. Not bad. Not bad. I'm going to clean this brush out really good, get all that excess black off. Okay, now we're going to leave the face alone for now. I'm going to concentrate on the hair, and then we'll go to back to the face. Okay, so for now we got mostly the dark areas done. With the exception of maybe the mouth, but again, we could do that later. And I'm going to show you a trick where you utilize the water and a little bit of acrylic paint to almost create sort of like a watercolory look for some of the grays, the gray tones for the shading of the face, as you can see here. But for now, we're just going to focus on the mossy green and all of that hair. That crazy hair. I gave him some nice crazy headbangers 80s hair, so I went kind of wild with this one. It you know, it was an 80s movie. It came out in 1988, so that was the day of the big hair, man. I remember it clearly. All right, so the green, I think we're gonna start with a mixture of the yellow and the green. So here's some regular green and some yellow. And I think we will use this brush first. Okay, we'll dip some yellow, then a little bit of green. And what you're going to do is you're going to get a mixture of the two. Get a little bit more yellow. And then just go ahead and just go crazy. Start from the hairline. Use that edging of your brush and just go for it. Just use that edging, okay? If you get a little bit of yellow in there, more than green, that's fine. If you end up getting more green than yellow, that's fine. You've got the two in your brush, and eventually they're gonna mix together, and you're gonna have this mixture of yellowish green, lime color, almost neon-like. And you can go ahead and paint out into the black too, because by this point, most of this black is dried up. So you can go right out into the black a little bit. Okay, go back into some of that yellow. And the green. Mix it up a little bit. Continue on. Use that edge, use that razor edge of your brush, okay? And then create those hair strands. We'll probably add some white later, and then you'll really see the hair strands as they whisk into the black. I actually noticed I missed a part, so let me go back and fix this. Right here. Hey, it happens. It happens. There we go. Okay. Let's go into a somewhat darker green. And then just kind of go over it. Start from the base, from the hairline, close to the face. So see, now you see some of the darker green here coming through. Oops, found another section. Look at this. And this will happen. And you're gonna be like, oh, because I'm moving so fast, but there we go. How my mind works. So a little more green here, a little bit more green here, darker green, mix it in there. I'm actually going to dip into my yellow. Come back, add some of that lighter tone again. Up here. And it's okay if it looks messy. It's supposed to. He's not a really clean looking guy, so. All right. Okay, I'm gonna switch from this large brush to the smaller version, this one here. So let's clean this off. Same thing, after every use, make sure you clean this brush off, rinse it off, get as much of that paint out as you can, okay? All right, we're gonna put this one aside and dip back in with this one. Now, we're gonna mix a little bit of blue with your green to give a deeper tone to it. So we'll dip into the green first, then the blue. Let's do that. There we go. And then maybe add a little bit more green. And we got this going on. See that? Again, closer to the face, because most of the shadows are going to come from here. Work out from the hairline, okay? Go up. And again, he's going to be kind of a gloppy mess, so it's okay. Here we go. There's probably a little bit more blue in this one than there is in the original, but that's okay. It's okay if it differences out a bit. Just play with it. Just give me some crazy strands. Make them real sporadic, you know? Sporadic and messy. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of this color that I have going on here along the side of his face. Barely, like just a little bit, like just dab it on. Sort of a shade, just along the line of his jaw. That's it. I'm going to clean this off. And now I'm going to switch to the smaller pointed brush. Your tip, your small tip. So something like that. Okay, if you have something like this at home, even if it's a slightly larger one, as long as it comes to a nice point, you're good. You're good to go. Let's wet that a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna dip some black and, well, green first, and then a little bit of black, just a little bit of black. Give it a nice dirty black or dirty green. Still looks too black, so we're gonna go into the green more. There we go. Now it looks kind of dirty. Maybe into the yellow a little bit. There we go. So it's kind of like a dirty mossy green. And we're just gonna do some little dots here, little mossy dots up on the top of his brow, his forehead. And they're sporadic. They're kind of all over his face. They're real dotty and blotchy and gross. some around his mouth over here. You can do this right now. You can do it around the mouth, his chin. Let's go back in here. It's a mess, you guys, so don't worry about making it look neat. It's not supposed to look really clean, so it's okay. It's really gross. So even up here, like his stash, it's a nasty, dirty green. So I've already covered a lot, and just lightly kind of just make it messy, okay? Like that. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna show you a trick though. I'm gonna dip this into the water a little bit. Use that natural wetness. Almost kind of watercolory. Go back in there. And then add that into your mix. And it kind of moves the color along a little bit. Under the nose, okay? That's it. Okay? Now, I didn't do this on the original, but I could add some dark, nasty veins. So you can go back into that dark green right here, this dark black green. And I'm gonna have to hold my arm like this to kind of steady my position here. And that's it. Not a whole lot of detail, just those little things that kind of add to it. Okay, so we're gonna do some highlights to the hair. So we're gonna add some white to the green. You're gonna get sort of a light, minty, light green, and that's gonna go outwards and extend into the darkness. And give it sort of that appearance of a, you know, crazy, natural looking, messy 80s hair. So I think we're going to use this smaller brush here. Dip into the white first. Get a nice amount of white. If you already have paint on your plate, just go ahead and mix it with your plate, with the paint that's on your plate already. And you just want to get that nice light color green. Really light, really light. I mean, it's a small tint of green mixed with your white paint, okay? And then just work it out. Extend it out into the blackness. Just make it all crazy, some curl, just whip it. Use that edging too, the edging of your brush. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, guys. See how that's working out? Look at that. So you see what I just did? Look at that. It's pretty crazy. Let's get into some more of this light green. Continue up here. Tap into some more of that white. And then maybe give me some highlight lines of the hair right here. Just a little. There you go, guys. That's pretty much the hair for you right there. That's really all you need. That's it. Those highlights really topped it off. Okay. I think that's it for the hair. I mean, you can keep going if you want. Just, you know what? Just have a great time with it. Make it as messy and crazy as you want. But I think I'm done with mine. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and focus on his face now. And his eye. Maybe his eye next, and then the rest of his face. It's really going to be just a mixture of some light grays for the lips, a little bit of extra black in here, nostrils, his frown lines, just to make his face, you know, come forward a little bit, more of a three-dimensional look. And then we'll move over to this section of the graveyard, okay? And we'll create those tombstones, that you know, steel fencing over here. That's what we have over here going on. And then some more green, I guess, for the grassy areas over here, a little bit on the hilltop. I got a lot done, you guys, so I think we're doing a really, really good job on this one. I hope you guys are happy with yours. And again, this is pre-recorded. You can always go back and rewind and watch over a section over again if you need to. Okay, so now let's go into his eye. We're gonna make this yellow. I guess his eye could be green, right? I mean, I added a little bit of orange. I think it really made it look crazier with that orange. And I just mixed the yellow with a little bit of red to create that color. I have a little bit of red right here I could dip into. And I paint that red color from the top of the pupil down the middle of that yellow area, that yellow part of the eye. Just like that. Okay? A little bit of this yellow, a little bit of that orange color. I just mixed the red with your yellow. And you get a nice kind of a tangerine orange. I mean, you'll find a nice balance of the color that you want. You can make his eyes green if you want, or blue, whatever you want. Completely up to you. I chose to do the yellow-orange thing. I'm going to go ahead and darken in his pupil right here. Ooh, not bad. Really coming together. Let that dry. Actually, I'm gonna go back in here and darken some more of this. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the shadowing of his face. And it's just gonna be gray. So white and black will give you that gray. More white than black. So start with a nice clean brush. I'm going to use this small one because I swirl it around like this when I paint the face. I utilize the water a little bit to help the fluidity of the paint and let it move around and create that light shadowing. So first off, white and a little bit of black, not too much, just a little bit of black. Okay, find a spot fix it. Okay, it's kind of dark, but you know what? It's like a hippo gray. I think that's going to work just fine. Follow those lines of the nose. A little bit of a frown line right here. I'm going to create that. Right here, his frown line on his forehead. His lips, a little bit of gray in the base of that top lip, the bottom part. The bottom of his lip right here, more of that gray. And we'll come back with a little bit more black to help define those shadows, okay? What I'm actually going to do is go back into some plain white to lighten up some of the dark areas that I initially sketched out. Just a little bit of white. Like right here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, just to kind of take away some of the hard lines. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. So here's my trick. I'm going to show you right now. If you look, I don't know if I can do it without spilling all my... It's a dark, dirty, nasty, almost black water, right? Well, you can use that to your advantage. Let me show you how. I'm going to dip my brush into the dirty water, tap it on my plate, and it's almost kind of a watercolory look. And I'm going to use that for some of the shading. Adds that fluidity right there. It's really, really subtle. But in fact, if you maybe dip into the black a little bit, then the water, and it helps wash out that black, and you get into sort of a watery, oh, see, there you go. Maybe something like that, like really, you know, yeah, maybe something like that. Around his nose, under his nose for the shadow, under the lip. I'm going to create some lines going up his brow, his angry lines. That's really it. Just that little bit really makes a difference. Okay. Maybe even up here, like the very top of that white area of his eye, a little bit of shading, not much. That's it. Make sure this stays white down here. Okay. And that's really it. Now I'm going to go back into the black, just the black, and darken in some of these areas. In between his teeth, his nostril, maybe right here. Give him that nice, dirty, dark nostril. Now it's more defined right here, underneath his nose. in between his teeth. We're probably going to add some mossy dark green on his teeth as well, because he's got some dirty, gross teeth. See that? I'd love to see the pictures of your stuff, you guys. So when you're done, you know, if you've got my number, text me your painting when you're done. I'd love to see how it came out, or tag me on Facebook. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see how yours came out. Again, you can take your time. You don't have to finish this when I'm finishing it. I mean, I think I'm probably just under an hour in. Yep, almost an hour, guys. I've completed a lot, so. All right, so I'm gonna go back into that mossy green. So dip into the green. Not too much black, just find a little bit of black and more green. You wanna see that green, but you want a tint of that darkness, that black in there. So see, it's kind of a mossy dark green. Add that maybe on his gums, right here, on his teeth. It's just nasty, it's dirty, it's gross. Maybe a little bit of yellow, smoker's teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, let's go into that yellow. Touch into that black in here, just a little bit, not much. A little bit goes a long way, just a little bit. Add a little bit into his teeth here. Look at that, it's gross. That's it. That's all you need. Look how nasty and messy that looks. That's what you want. I mean, that's what Beetlejuice is. He's gross. He's gross, but he's lovable. And that's about it. Now I think I'm going to do a little bit of highlights within his shadow, his eye socket. I'm going to dip into the white, the blue, and then a little bit of black. A little bit of black. Mix that up. And then add some lines underneath his eye, right here. And that's it. Maybe darken it just a little bit more. There you go. Sharpen this up a little bit more. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Pretty good. Let's see here. I think we're pretty much done with the face. Okay. Let me add a little bit of green up here. Dark greens to kind of camouflage those lines that I drew earlier. Actually, we're going to need a little bit of black too for some of the hair. There's actually a lot of darkness here, so we could just play with the blackness, the darkness here. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. That's what we're missing. Some of that darkness. Okay. So I added some more darkness in here, closer to the face, as it's coming outwards. It's still mostly light on the outside of the hair, his bushy hair, and then that's it. It kind of gives it a nice little gradation, or you know, I don't know if that's even the right word. I guess difference in lighting, basically. So it kind of fades out into a lighter, you know, area, and it's darker as it's closer to the face, you know. And that's basically it. He's pretty much done. He is pretty much done. So I'm gonna add one little detail to tie in his face. We need that little light glare in the pupil of the eye. Right dead center. Right there. Boom. It's like he's staring right at you. Okay, I'm gonna take a beat, have a drink really quick. It's just water with some Mio. Trying to stay hydrated here. Midst of summer, but you know what? Halloween will be here before you know it. All right, I got a lot done. I still got a doorway to do right here, somewhere over here. I think I'm gonna take this white, create this doorway. There, right there. Now, I didn't do this on the original, but I think I'm going to add some yellow to the windows. Now, I didn't do that to the original, but I'm going to do that here. A little bit of yellow. And then, oh, you know what? In the windows up here, there is this crisscross lining, you know, of the windowsill. There's three of them actually. There's this one and those two there. So, oh, quick thing to avoid your tip, your pointed brush to clump up. Dip it in that water, get it really nice and clean. Use the rag or paper towel that you may have, and just kind of bring it to a tip, nice clean tip, and then go into your black for those little details. Okay. Okay. That's it. Okay, what's next, you say? Well, I'm going to go ahead and create that fencing that you see right over here. It's just a gray and white. You want it bright enough for it to, you know, really stick out, to pop out. So again, dip into your white first, then a little bit of black. Not much, just a little bit. Find a spot, mix it, and you're just going to run it through, squiggly line, following the hilltop, right about here, up, up. Make it kind of crooked as it's going up, and over, right there. Okay? And then do lines, probably from over here. Oh. I think my playlist is done. There we go. It's continuing. Okay, so now we're going to create those lines. Make them crooked. Okay, I'm going to clean this up a little bit because it's starting to clump up. Like I said, it does that. So you want to clean your brush, get some of that excess paint. Again with the white, a little bit of black. Create that light gray. Let's get those lines in. Okay, and then we're gonna get those little spearheads in there, those little pokey things, you know, that look really scary and dangerous. All it is just a little arch like that. I'm gonna go into some more white. There we go. Just like that. Take some white, create some highlights along the metal line right here. Like some light is reflecting on it downwards. Okay, let's see how this is looking. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm going to bring this in a little closer, guys. Just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. Hopefully you can see it. Yes? Oh, that's good. Okay, now the headstones. Same thing. What you just did here, do the same thing with the headstones. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 headstones. So I'll just stick with that. I did a smaller one here, a slightly larger one here, another one here, slightly larger. As they come closer to the foreground, they get bigger. Okay, so you want to show some distance, okay? All right, I think we'll stick with this one right here, this paintbrush. Okay, let's go back into that white, a little bit of black, mixture gray. Okay, right here, I'm gonna do an arch tombstone. Just like that. Okay. And then a slightly larger one here. And you got to play with that white and the black, you guys, to get that gray that you want. You want it just bright enough so you can see on the black surface, okay? All right, I'm gonna do a big, tall, rectangular one here. Let me start with this part, work way down. Okay, so there's that. I've got 3 headstones already placed. You know, all it is just a light gray. And they could be different tones of gray. They don't have to be exactly the same, okay? I'm gonna do another one over here. Rectangular, only it's gonna be long ways or wide. It's gonna go like this, long, and then like that. And later you guys can write whatever you want on the tombstones. I wrote Adam loves Barbara, here lies Mr. Deeds, let me out. I mean, you could write whatever you want. Maybe an old ex-boyfriend or girlfriend you really, really hate. That's pretty dark. I don't know. Let's not use that word, hate. Or you really don't like. So, but anyway, you could do whatever you want, or do something cute, like, you know, crispy bacon. You know, I mean, I don't know. Look up some fun stuff online. There's some really cool, fun, you know, names and different types of clever writing that you could put on these tombstones. There's a lot online. Just look for it. So I've got 4 so far. I'm gonna do 2 more, or maybe just 1 more. I have 6. I think I may just do 5. I think that'll be it. I don't know. We'll see. Let's do the cross. Right here. I mean, we're pretty much at the end right here, guys, so I can actually stop after these tombstones, and that's it. Everything else you could do on your own as far as the writing and all that. I will go ahead and add some grass around the tombstones and maybe on the hill a little bit, but that's about it. I mean, it's pretty much just about done. Okay? I'll go ahead and add this one. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's get some more black. So let's just go ahead and add one more tombstone here. Oh, we need more white. There we go. Okay. Now, one detail I will make sure I add before I wrap this thing up is to make it look more three-dimensional. We're going to add those lines to kind of square them out and round them out and make them look like they're, you know, like I said, more 2 to 3 dimensional. We're going to go dip into the black and add these little lines here and connect them, take it down. Just like that. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but right here. You guys see that? Make sure everything's all lined up here. That looks good. Looks good. Let's back this up just a little bit. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay. I'm gonna clean my brush just a little bit, bring it to a point again, dip back into the black, and cross, same thing. creating that square look. I mean, you want it to, see that? Just like that, guys. All right. Pretty good. Okay. I think we're going to continue on to the next one and start wrapping this up. Up here, it's just a line that just comes up and over and down. And it follows the shape. It follows the shape of your tombstone. Okay, same thing with this one. Up and over, right about to here. And bring it down. Okay, we got one more tombstone, and that's it. Square it out. Just like that. So there you go. Can you guys see that? Not bad, huh? That's basically what you want. You could add the writing later on. I'm probably going to just do one, and then that's probably about it. The rest you could do on your own. It's pretty simple. Now we're going to finish off with some grassy areas and maybe along the hill. And that's pretty much it, you guys. It's going to be done. I'm going to dip into some yellow. Fill this in a little bit. Now, okay, so let's dip into the green. A little bit of yellow. A little bit of white. Mix. Maybe some more green. Mix that in. Okay, and then go to the base of your tombstones, the bottom here, and then just kind of spread out some grass, you know, like right here. A few lines. Some high grass. You know, someone forgot to mow the lawn, so, you know, just kind of do that. And then and that's basically it, you guys. I mean, I think I did this just under 90 minutes, so not bad. You guys will take as long as you need, okay? Take your time, watch the video, go back to a section, maybe you didn't see something, you can go back and forth. Just take your time, okay? I'm gonna add some green up here on the hill, just a little bit of green. Maybe right here at the base of the fence. And that's it, you guys. I mean, I think we're good. Now, you guys can totally cheat if you want, okay? When you do the writing, you don't have to do it with a paintbrush if you don't want. It's not like I'm gonna see you, so, you know. Okay, those for you who know that I love my Janet Jackson, this is my happy space. This is my yes, what a way to end this. let's see if I can find my paint marker. And these are great, guys. These Craft Smart paint markers. I got the fine tip, you know, and you can use these to, I guess I could have used it to do the lines, right? But I stay traditional. But you can write, what did I, here lies, I'll put here lies Mr. Dietz right here. Mr. Dietz is the dad to Winona Ryder's character Lydia. He's not in the sequel, but I do know in the movie, spoiler alert, we don't see him in the film, but I'm gonna go ahead and add his name to the headstone. Let me make sure this works. So here lies Mr. Dietz. Now, is it Lies or is it Lys? See, I hit these walls with spelling of some of these words, so I've got to make sure I get this right. So I'm going to say, here lies Mr. Dietz. And it is Lies. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I hate spelling things wrong. It's like that whole potato thing or tomato thing. So Lies, then that's how I spelled it there. But you know, I always have to make sure. That's, hey, we're only human, right? Mr. Dietz. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for now. All right, guys. So I think we were pretty much at the finish line. At least I am with mine. I'm not going to add any more to these tombstones. I think this is enough for now, but you get the gist of it. That's basically it. So if you are doing, if you have your paint night kits and you are following along, I hope I was able to be your, guiding light a little bit. Go back and watch, and just kind of, you'll decide what works for you, what's not going to work for you. I didn't put any red in there at all. I was going to, but I decided not to. I mean, you can use red in your white areas if you want. You can make these yellow if you want. I mean, you can add tints of red in his eye socket here of the shadow. I mean, you could do that. But I pretty much kept it true to the original for the most part. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I hope this helps. I'm going to go ahead and upload this onto my Facebook art page and my YouTube channel. So keep an eye out for those. For those of you guys that have my cell number and reached out about the kits, I'm going to text you the link to the YouTube video. And you can check that out and sit and follow along. And just have fun, just enjoy yourselves and take your time. All right, so I think that's going to be it. I'm going to call it. I think we are done. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for, giving me the time to do this. And we are going to have another one coming up really soon. I'm going to start putting things together to upload again and again. I promised myself last year I was going to do it, and I didn't fulfill what I had hoped, I wanted to do, that I wanted to do. Life got busy, and and I wasn't really doing too many paint nights, but I think this is the way I want to go. I want to do more of these types of things, and of course I do privates. If you're interested in a private paint night, let me know. We'll work out the details. I will be doing less public venue paint nights and more privates, and of course I'll also offer paint night kits. So let's say you come to a paint night that's public, or you have a private. You got all your friends together, you're good, you got your stuff, you're having a great time, but maybe 2 or 3 couldn't make it for whatever reason, right? They have the option of purchasing a paint night kit, and they run between $25 to $30. And I upload a video on YouTube, and then they can just follow along at home whenever they want. For whatever reason, they weren't able to come to the paint night in person. So that's going to be it, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it quits right here. And thanks again for hanging out and watching and following along. Let me know what you think, and give me some ideas of other types of projects you'd like to see. I do plan on doing some Christmas ones, maybe a couple more Halloween ones, fall, something with pumpkins maybe. We'll see, But that's going to be it for tonight. Have a great time for those of you who do have the kits and are going to follow along. Okay? All right. I am going to say peace out until next time.